A young man who just graduated from school went to apply for a managerial position in a big company. He passed the first interview, and the last interview was also a piece of cake. The director was so impressed at the young man's performance. He discovered from the resume that the young man's academic achievements were excellent all the way, from secondary up to the postgraduate research. Never had a year of failure in his performance in school. His grades were excellent. The director asked the young man, "Did you obtain any scholarships in school?" The young man answered, "None, sir." The director asked again, "Was it your father who paid your school fees?" The young man answered, "My father passed away when I was 1 year old. It was my mother who paid my school fees." The director asked, "Which job does your mother do?" "My mother worked as a laundry cleaner," replied the young man. The director requested the young man to show him his hands. The young man was confused but decided to show the director his hands. When the director felt his hands, they were soft and smooth. The director then asked him, "Have you ever helped your mother in washing the clothes?" "Never. My mother always wanted me to study and make her proud," replied the young man. The director said to the young man, "I have a request. When you go back home today, go and clean your mother's hands, and then see me the next day." The young man felt that his chance of getting the job was high. As he got home, he happily requested his mother to let him clean her hands. His mother felt so strange because her son had never done this before. But with a mixed feeling, she brought forth her hands towards her son. When the son was cleaning his mother's hands, he noticed that his mother's hands were wrinkled and full of bruises. As he cleaned her hands, she shivered and groaned in pain. Tears coursed down his face as he cleaned his mother's hands. This was the first time the young man realized that it was this pair of hands, full of wrinkles and bruises, that washed clothes every day to enable him have a future. After he had finished cleaning his mother's hands, the young man quietly took the clothes his mother was washing and washed them. The young man was overwhelmed by the love his mother had towards him. The next morning, he went to the director's office. The director looked up and saw him. He then noticed that the young man had been in tears. "Did you do what I asked you to do?" he asked. The young man answered with tears running down his face, "Yes, sir, I cleaned my mother's hands, and found out that my mother had been going through all this, just for me to have a future, with wrinkles and bruises and all. What a mother," he said. "What did you get from all these?" asked the director. The young man said, "Number 1, appreciation is the key. Without my mother, there would not have been a successful me today. Number 2, I have come to appreciate the importance and value of family relationship." The director was pleased and said, "This is what I have been looking for in a person. I want to recruit a person who can appreciate the help of others, a person who knows the sufferings of others, to get things done, a person who would not put money first as his only goal in life. So with all these, I have encountered, you are hired." After the young man had been hired, he worked hard, and received praises from his director. Every employee worked diligently as a team member, so the company's performance improved tremendously. This is love of a mother to her son. In John chapter 3 verse 16, says, "For God so loved the world, that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him, should not perish but have eternal life." God gave his only Son. Through his death, Christ revealed what pure, unfathomable love looks like. Through the cross, Jesus Christ proved the depth of his love through suffering and bruises for us to be free from sins, poverty, sicknesses, natural disasters, oppression, death and so on. Such a passionate, self-sacrificing act is hard for my mind to comprehend. Christ revealed a beautiful picture of love, grace, and the freedom of complete absolution. No more guilt, no more shame. It's zero condemnation. Only freedom, light, and life because God so loved this world. Put your comments on the box below. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed.